Hey guys, welcome to the channel and part 2 of The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, please do. The link should be up there somewhere. The review should be included in this video, so watch out for that. The full-length version of this film and over 80 movies are up on my Patreon. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Do check out my other videos. And let's go!
Look! The smoke to the south!
There was a time when Saruman would walk in my woods.
It's Saruman's army.
I think that's Aragorn. Oh, thank goodness. I think she's actually there, in spirit. And I think that's the horse he set free. Yeah, it's definitely not a normal horse.
I have made my choice.
He is not coming back.
I think she's slowly accepting it.
Isengard has been unleashed. The Eye of Sauron now turns to Gondor, the last free kingdom of men. He senses the ring is close. The time of the elves is over.
Sauron is marshalling an army.
I should have printed a map.
Saruman attacks from Isengard. Sauron from Mordor. Oh. Gondor is weak. Speak.
Is it me or does this actor look like Shan?
We set out from Rivendell with 7 companions. Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and Boromir of Gondor.
You're a friend of Boromir?
Dude, he knows Boromir. It has to be... They look so much alike.
He's dead.
How?
He was my brother.
He was his brother.
Has been reclaimed for Gondor! For Gondor!
Yeah, he was a great man before he got corrupted by the ring.
Today, life is good. They exaggerate. The victory belongs to Faramir also.
Faramir.
You let the enemy walk in and take it on a whim.
So he's not the favorite son.
You give him no credit, and yet he tries to do your will.
It is rumored the weapon of the enemy has been found, and it has fallen into the hands of the elves.
This is how he was sent to the council.
This thing must come to Gondor. Bring me back this mighty gift.
No. Send me in his stead.
I trust this mission only to your brother.
Oh, dude.
Remember today, little brother.
You must come with me now. You wait for my command. Shall I shoot?
Wait.
Frodo still hasn't revealed that he has the ring.
Master is here. You must trust Master. Don't hurt him! Master!
Oh man, Smeagol will think he got betrayed by Frodo.
Why does he cry, Smeagol?
Oh no, Gollum's back.
Master tricked us. I told you he was false.
What did they steal?
Precious!
The secret's out.
The ring's taking me, Shan.
The ring of power within my grasp.
He just wants to make his brother and father proud, but this is misguided.
No! He's got to destroy it!
Will you not help him?
The army approaches. I'm just not going to talk about the cinematography anymore. It's exactly the same as the first one, so just watch that review.
He's alive!
Bless you, laddie.
Laddie.
You look terrible.
Oh man, that's a lot of acting with the eyes.
All Isengard is empty, 10,000 strong at least.
Let them come.
I want every man and strong lad, able to bear arms. No army has ever breached the Deeping Wall.
That's a green screen. It's very well done, but I caught it.
Send out riders, my lord. You must call for aid.
But whom?
And who will come?
Gondor will answer.
Gondor.
The Ents look so majestic.
What's that?
Tis a gathering.
Like a council of the Ents. Another amazing scene with amazing CGI.
Many have come. Now we must decide if the Ents will go to war.
What a great narrative structure where we're seeing the council of the Ents through the eyes of the hobbits.
I'm to be sent with the women into the caves. Let me stand at your side.
It is not in my power to command it.
You do not command the others to stay. They fight beside you because they would not be parted from you.
Aww.
Because they love you.
Aww. She's mouthing the words, please don't leave.
Nedin Dagor, hen Urir Othari, Natha Dagathair.
Then I shall die as one of them.
But Legolas speaks the truth.
We'll follow you to whatever end.
Against these guys?
We're running out of time.
The men are saying that we will not live out the night.
The morale is so low. And justifiably so. 300 against 10,000?
There is always hope.
He's getting ready for battle.
We had time to get this adjusted.
That is no Orcorn.
Over the gate!
It looks like Elrond and the elves are here.
Long ago we fought and died together. We are proud to fight alongside men once more.
I wonder how many elves they have. Oh my goodness. If that's not intimidating, I don't know what is.
Could have picked a better spot.
This is nervous laughter, by the way. I don't mean to, but it's funny. I've heard of a massive battle in Lord of the Rings. I don't know where it is, but this looks like a massive battle.
What's happening out there?
Shall I describe it to you?
So condescending. Everybody's so condescending. No expense is spared. Each and every extra is highly detailed.
Come on!
Quality versus quantity. Gimli, the first one to hit anything. But they've already breached the walls, and that's saying a lot.
I'm on 17!
Why am I enjoying this battle? I'm supposed to be scared here, but he's awesome.
We have agreed. You are not orcs.
They cannot fight this war on their own.
Waiting!
He's counting his skills. Oh no! Holy explosion! The gates are open, the gates are open. And they have a battering ram. Impressive CGI work for 2001. The reflections on the water weren't very convincing, but they're almost there. He's too much in the zone. I don't fear for his life too much. It's like he's a machine gun with the bow and arrow.
The Ents cannot hold back this storm.
How can that be your decision?
Go back to your home.
Maybe Treebeard's right.
The Shire music,
It's too big for us.
How long can they hold though? Oh no.
Draw your sword!
Oh, come on, we can take them.
Relax.
Pull everybody back.
Turn around, take us south.
south?
If we go south, we can slip past Saruman unnoticed.
Pippin has a plan.
We'll be caught.
No, we won't.
The ring will not save Gondor.
Hurry!
Listen to reason. Don't think about yourself. Oh crap! Part of the forest is gone.
Many of these trees were my friends.
The Ents will join the fight. The music with this imagery is creating something magical. I don't think The Lord of the Rings should ever be remade. I don't think it can be remade.
The Ents are going to war.
His eye is almost on me. You want to know why your brother died? He tried to take the ring from Frodo. The ring drove your brother mad.
Mr. Frodo.
They're here.
His voice is changing.
Nazgul!
Nazgul on dragons!
It is over.
There's no other way for the women and children to get out of the caves.
There is one passage. Ride out and meet them.
For death and glory.
For Rohan.
Aragorn is more of a king than anybody will ever be.
Look to the east.
Look to the east on the 5th day at dawn. That's what Gandalf said. I wonder where he is. I wonder what the significance of that horror. But I do not like this look on Frodo's face. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you need a friend like Sam.
Sir Sam! I can't do this, Sam.
I think Sam might be the hero of the entire story.
And sometimes you didn't want to know the end.
Alright.
But in the end, even darkness must pass. Folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. They kept going. But there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for.
Right you are, Sam.
I think at last we understand one another, Frodo Baggins.
If you let them go, your life will be forfeit.
And it is forfeit.
The answer here.
42.
That's not bad for a pointy-eared elvish princeling. I myself am sitting pretty on 43. He was already dead.
He was twitching.
He was twitching.
He doesn't look too happy, does he?
Not too happy at all, Mary.
Saruman is stuck.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
It can't be.
You think we should share it with Treebeard?
Share it? No. No. Could be a distant relative.
Oh, I get it.
I know things look good, but they actually aren't.
Gollum says there's a path.
Cannot go that way.
It is the only way, so we must try.
Mr. Frodo didn't mean for them rangers to hurt you. He was trying to save you, see?
Save me, Ice Master. I submit.
It's very deep.
The battle for Middle-earth is about to begin.
I wonder if people will ever say, let's hear about Frodo and the ring. And they'll say, yes, it's one of my favorite stories. Samwise the Brave. I want to hear more about Sam. Frodo wouldn't have got far without Sam.
How selfless these creatures.
Samwise the Brave.
He likes it.
Master looks after us.
Oh no.
Kill him! Kill them both! Kill them both. Yes! No, no! She could do it.
Who?
And then we take six. Neither will show you the way. Follow me.
Oh no. Yeah, Gollum is going to betray them. And it ends right here. Guys! No! I literally cannot wait for the next one. Everything is coming together now. Ugh! Okay, I took quite a while to collect my thoughts. First off, that was amazing. I can't get enough. It sucks that the story ended where it ended. Peter Jackson is like an artist playing with his colors. He's a master of the craft of filmmaking. This was another flawless film for him. The only criticism I had of The Fellowship of the Ring was its length, but I don't have the same opinion for this entry. You see, the first film had to have a lot of exposition to set up the story. That's not really required here, so Jackson could spend the entire runtime showing the plot unfold. And my goodness, the world Tolkien created is majestic. As there are no weaknesses, the strengths included the adapted screenplay, directing, cinematography, editing, sets, CGI, and special and practical effects. Let's get right into it with the directing by Peter Jackson and the writing by him, Fran Walsh, Philippa Boyens, and Steven Sinclair. As I mentioned before, the adapted screenplay was stellar. I don't know how well they adapted the books, but to me it was the perfect continuation of the previous film. It began right where the Fellowship of the Ring ended. There were so many interwoven narratives and they blended together so perfectly. There was the story of the Ents, the Rohans, the Elves, Frodo and Sam's journey, the resurrection of Gandalf, and the way we got to see the bravery of Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas. Each of these narratives were expertly written, and I love how they came together by the end. This level of screen adaptation takes an incredible amount of hard work and dedication, and I hope it was recognized by the Academy that year. The direction was top-notch. There were no differences between the quality of the first film and this one. Jackson thankfully doesn't spend too much time dwelling on the past in this one. The film moves faster and is leaner despite being longer. By the end of the film, though, we see Saruman trapped in his tower with Grima, overrun by the Ents. We see Faramir rise above his petty human desires and lets Frodo and Sam leave with Gollum. Gollum overpowers Smeagol's personality and convinces them to betray Frodo and Sam. The rest of the Fellowship seemingly defeat the Uruk-hai, but I'm sure there's more to that. We'll find out. We did not hear Sauron in this one though. I'm going to discuss the individual characters later. Moving on to the cinematography, it was just so good. It was as good as the first film, if not better. The locations themselves in New Zealand were majestic, and I'm sure the locations themselves did half the work to look magical. The other half was done by Jackson and his wonderful team. The editing in this film was actually better than the previous one. I bet it spent more time in the editing room, and it really shows. The cuts were picture perfect and complemented the filming style very well. The camera work itself was of the highest caliber, very consistent, and just like before, excellent choice in lenses and amazing optical illusions. I'm still amazed on how convincing the hobbits looked in comparison with everything else. Like the sense of scale Merry and Pippin provided when they were riding on Treebeard. How the camera swayed with their movements. How whenever Frodo felt the ring, he was shot from a higher angle to show almost the ring, as in the Tower of Sauron, calling for him. There are too many examples like this. Maybe I should do a separate video of the entire trilogy itself after I've reviewed the individual films. The music. The music in this film was again by Howard Shore. It was better than than the Fellowship of the Ring, as we got to hear new music. There was a theme introduced for Rohan, and it was so amazing to hear. It really pulled at my heartstrings. I also love the fact that even though the Shire wasn't shown, we got to hear the theme for it whenever it was discussed. That really brought me back to that magical place. The sound design was as good as it could be for a film. From the hissing noises made by Gollum to the sounds of the Ents in the forest to the march and sounds of battle outside Helm's Deep. Everything sounded perfect, and I couldn't find a single fault here. I really, really tried. Trust me, I tried, but I couldn't. The practical and special effects in the film, in conjunction with the CGI, were also nearly flawless. Apart from the shadow work, I probably wouldn't be able to tell that it was CGI. The texture on Gollum's skin, to the lighting work done on the Uruk-hai during the final battle, was nothing short of mind-boggling for the time. The sets and props were made with so much love and care. It's evident. Even the extras like the elf warriors or the Uruk-hai had full makeup and full costumes. The production budget of this franchise must have been so very high because of the level of detail presented. Peter Jackson allocated his budget like a champ, and I think a lot of credit goes to the production team here. Let's move on to the cast. Frodo Baggins was played by Elijah Wood. He was perfectly cast in the role. His eyes were so expressive that I could almost tell what he was thinking just by looking at him. This time around, he played Frodo differently, I'd say. His character was greatly conflicted between his duty and the power of the ring. The One Ring is so powerful that you could see that Frodo was getting lost in its corruption. We don't get to see too much of Frodo and Sam's story in this one, but that's not a bad thing necessarily. The world of Middle-earth is huge, and there was just too much story to tell. At the end, we saw him, Sam, and a corrupted Gollum head off to Mordor, apparently. Personally, I don't think so, because Gollum said that he was taking them to her, and I can't wait to find out who exactly he was referring to. Gandalf the White was played by Ian McKellen. He's back and stronger than ever. I just knew his story didn't end there. There was a shot of Gandalf falling with the Balrog, and I have to admit it was so beautiful that it looked like a painting straight out of the Middle Ages. It was gorgeous. Gandalf the Grey becomes Gandalf the White. Gandalf the White. I assume the white means that he's more powerful now, as Saruman is also a white wizard. I think they're on equal footing now. I also question the deity in this film. I mean, who actually resurrects Gandalf? Or is it nature herself? That explanation is not given here, and I'm sure it's there in the book somewhere. I'll get to the book soon enough. Viggo Mortensen played Aragorn, the Strider. He was among my favorite characters in the first installment, and I can confidently say that he's my favorite character now. The strength of his character and the resolve of that man is unparalleled. If anyone deserves to be king, it's him. As I was writing the review, it occurred to me that the third film is called Return of the King, and I really hope it refers to Aragorn. There was a subplot of a love triangle forming between him, Arwen, and Eowyn, the niece of Theoden. I'm not too sure where this is heading because Aragorn still deeply loves Arwen. The last we saw of him, he was still preparing for the Great War for Middle-earth. Samwise Gamgee was portrayed by Sean Astin. I think he might be the actual hero of the story because without him, Frodo would have been long lost and corrupted. Samwise the Brave. Don't get me wrong, holding the ring must be an incredibly difficult um, task, and I can't imagine the mental toll it probably takes on Frodo. But Sam is right there with him, putting the mission ahead of his own life. The hobbits may appear simple, but they are as brave as they come. Speaking of hobbits, Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan played Pippin and Merry, respectively. They are another pair of absolutely noble and brave creatures. They might be considered small and weak physically, but their mental strength and will are strong. It was them who convinced Treebeard to head south instead of north and see the destruction of the forest for himself, causing him to call the rest of the Ents to attack Saruman. If it weren't for them, Saruman would be free right now and creating more orcs. I don't think they have a clue as how important they were to stopping the forces of evil. They have no idea. Thankfully, the last we see of them, they finally got to eat good food. Hobbits need to eat a lot. Orlando Bloom played Legolas. He again does a very good job with his acting skills here. Most of his character, more of his character was shown, but I feel like I need more exposition on him. He was a noble warrior and a fine companion to Aragorn, Gimli, and Gandalf. Just like the previous film, he was a master with the bow and arrow, and at one point he was shooting like 3 arrows a second. Insane stuff. Any army would be blessed to have him on their side. I wonder why he doesn't leave with the rest of the elves that were leaving Middle-earth. Is it because he was bound by his quest, or is there another reason? Do let me know. John Rhys Davis portrayed Gimli. I completely forgot to talk about this hilarious dwarf in the previous review. There are just so many characters. Rhys Davis was perfect in his role in both the films. I hope to see more dwarves in this one, but we only got him. And trust me when I say it's more than enough. He was more man than most of the men that were shown. Half the size and double the courage. His character provided a lot of the comic relief in the film, and even at the heat of battle, I couldn't help but laugh with him and at his words. He's too brave for his own good. I hope he has a large role to play in the conclusion, because without him, a lot of hope is lost, a lot of morality. David Wenham played Faramir. Just like Sean Bean's Boromir, Wenham's Faramir was a morally grey and complex character. All he wanted to do was make his father proud because his father favored Boromir. One thing to note is that Wenham looks exactly like Bean. I'm sure the makeup helped, but holy crap, they look so familiar, like doppelgangers. Even before his character's name was introduced, I could tell that they were related. They have the same haircut, same eyes. Faramir gives up the right to his own life and goes against his father's orders by letting Frodo, Sam, and Gollum go. His brother would be proud to see that he rises from his earthly desires and thinks of the realm and the bigger picture. Liv Tyler and Hugo Weaving played Arwen and Elrond, respectively. Although their performances were pretty good, we don't get to see too much of them in this installment, probably 5-10 minutes. We see Elrond send his army to help Rohan defend itself and we see him convince Arwen to leave Middle-earth as he doesn't expect Aragorn to be back. At the end, we don't see her actually leave, so I really hope Aragorn comes back to Arwen before she leaves, since she was ready to give up her immortality to be with him. That's true love right there. I have a question about the elves though. Where are they going when they said that they're headed west? And why are they leaving? And why are they leaving now? Some explanation there would be greatly appreciated. Don't tell me if the answer is in the next film though. Christopher Lee was Saruman. He was as intimidating as ever as the White Wizard. He had a proper plan with an army of 10,000 orcs, but everything gets unfoiled when he makes one crucial mistake. When he orders the orcs to cut down the forest. I guess he didn't expect the Ents to rise up and attack him. Again, a lot of credit here goes to Merry and Pippin for showing the deforestation to Treebeard. Last we see of him, as in Saruman, he was trapped in his tower with Grima. I wonder where the story will take him next, as he clearly was not defeated by the end. Finally, Sauron. I don't believe he was voiced by anyone in this film. We didn't get to. I didn't see his name in the credits. But we do get to see a couple of shots of the eye. I think Tolkien and Jackson are reserving him for the final film by not showing him and talking about him constantly. He becomes more than a character. He becomes a legend within the film itself. A force so powerful, and we haven't even seen him yet. I have high expectations and hopes for this character when he actually shows up. Like I said before, I don't have a criticism section of this review, so overall, this film was flawless, paced to perfection. The plot was so incredibly engaging. The performances were of the highest tier. The CGI and the practical and special effects were unreal. The sets, costumes, and especially the music were all Oscar worthy, and I'm sure it won like a ton. I'm almost tempted to watch the third film right now, but it has to wait, like all good things. The story is really unfolding now, and I cannot wait to watch the final act. Peter Jackson is a genius. Lightning does strike twice. The question is, does it strike for the third time? Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video. Dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.